Hampton, Co-News Director of the Economic Development Group.
And I'm Shravan Putluri, Co-News Director. Today's story concerns Russia's efforts in Central Asian economies to evade Western sanctions applied in the aftermath of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine just over 1 year ago.
Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, the 5 former Soviet republics which make up the heartland of Central Asia, have been accused of helping Russia evade such sanctions. For example, Kazakhstan increased imports from the West by 80% since last year, with exports to Russia increasing by 22%, according to the latest EBRD report. This indicates that at least some Western goods are being shipped to Kazakhstan before being shipped to Russia, bypassing direct import restrictions on Russia. In particular, Russia has been using the semiconductors present in everyday goods imported from Central Asian nations, such as washing machines, in its weapons to bypass Western sanctions on the purchase of semiconductors.
To combat this, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken traveled to Astana, Kazakhstan, this week to meet with the Kazakh Foreign Minister and Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. Blinken encouraged the leaders of these Central Asian states to cooperate with the U.S. in stopping Russia's evasion of sanctions, as well as to more broadly strengthen ties between them.
All of the 5 former Soviet republics in Central Asia have historically close economic, political, and security ties with Russia. All have relatively autocratic governments and have dealt with significant instability or armed conflict at some point in the last 3 decades. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan are a part of Russia's Collective Security Treaty Organization. Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan are a part of the Eurasian Economic Union. Russia has lent dictators in the region security guarantees amid protests in recent years. Historically, many men in the Central Asian republics have gone to Russia to work, sending home remittances, which dropped with the decline in the Russian economy and the return of some of these men to their home countries, but have remained a significant financial tie between Russia and the republics. In June 2022, the World Bank estimated remittances to Tajikistan would drop by more than 1/5 because of the war in Ukraine, and that the share of Tajik households which cannot afford enough nutritious and healthy food would rise from 20% to 36% as a result. But they are not in lockstep either. Complicating matters, many of these Central Asian states have taken in large numbers of relocanti, mostly Russian men fleeing the draft, since September of last year. Many of these relocanti, a term, it should be noted, is criticized for endorsing certain colonial imperial stereotypes. Many of them have remote jobs, but their investment into economies in Central Asia has been criticized for vastly inflating housing prices. Local governments have mixed feelings as such, but have mostly protected the political or political adjacent exiles from Russian persecution.
After Antony Blinken's visit to Kazakhstan, Kazakh Foreign Minister Tiluberdi indicated that his country would continue its multilateral foreign and economic policy. He said that, quote, "We are trying to keep the system of checks and balances to develop the mutually beneficial cooperation relationship with all the countries of the world," end quote, implying that his country and the region would attempt to continue walking a line between the large, close, and often imperiled economy of Russia and that of the United States.
Thank you very much for listening. Now, on to the meeting.